Are you really aware that many marriages, I mean 90% of marriages that ended in divorce collapse within a short period of 5 years? Yeah, I've seen this over and over again as a therapist, which is the reason I want to talk about it. This is the good news. If yours is new, you are newly married, or you are preparing for your wedding, this video will give you a strong foundation to build a successful home. Hi guys, my name is Bekra. If you're seeing my face for the first time, this is Background Therapy Hub, where we talk about marriages, mental health, and anything that could tamper with your mental health. On this channel, we'll help couples, whether newly married or you have been there for so long, to strive in marriage with both psychological wisdom and biblical patterns. If this seems like what you're interested in, make sure you subscribe to this channel, like, share, and put on your notification bell so that when next you have great videos like this, you'll be the first to be notified. Let's dive into this video. So in this video, I will be sharing 5 top reasons why marriages collapse and practical ways in which you can protect yours from collapsing. Number one thing that I would like to speak about is lack of preparation. Marriage is what needs to be prepared for. You need to be ready before you go into it because it requires a whole lot. It's so demanding and you have to be ready. You have to be intentional about it to be successful in marriage. Intentionality matters so much. So in this part of the world, I discovered that many people prepare so much for wedding, ignoring marriage preparation. This is so wrong, and this is one of the reasons many marriages collapse. There are so many things that you need to discuss with your partner. There's a video I made on this. To be fine if you can check this video. There are so many questions that you need to ask your partner before going into marriage. You need to talk about your values, how you manage finances, how you manage your home, numbers of children you want to have. Maybe you want to be a full housewife, or he does not want you to be a full housewife. So many things you have to talk about, so many things you have to discuss before going into marriage. You can speak to people that are already in marriage, know what they are facing there, so that you will not fall victim just like other people are falling victims. You have to be ready emotionally, financially, in all ramification, even spiritually. You need to be ready because, of course, the way you pray will increase, the way you think will be expanded. You need a lot of balancing. You need a lot of preparation. You need a lot of readiness before going into marriage. So that is why I said that many people are not ready before going into marriage. Just find themselves there, or because they see their friends getting married, they want to get married. So that is why they are there, which is wrong. So before going into marriage that you don't want to end in divorce, be prepared mentally, be prepared financially, spiritually, even medically, in all ramifications. Be prepared and be rest assured that marriage is not going to be a bed of roses. The other thing that makes marriage collapse is poor communication. You cannot just talk about some casual things. You have to talk deeply when you have sex and you are not satisfied with it. You have to talk about it. If you want something, you have to talk about it. If something is going on wrong in your marriage that you don't like, you have to talk about it deeply. You talk about everything, even things that you think it does not make sense. You still talk about it. You get to know reason why things are done in certain ways. You talk about things that does not even make sense, just like I said. So communication is very important. Let me tell you, if you pile up small issues, it's going to be enlarged to the extent that you won't be able to control it again, which is reason married people are always advised not to sleep while they are arguing. Whenever you see that you're arguing about something, make sure you settle the argument before you go to bed. That is the logic. That is very important. If you can do this, it will help you. So talking about every issues before going to bed is very important, and it really keeps marriage. When you go to work, you come back, talk, ask yourself questions, answer questions, be attentive when you are talking together as a family or as couple. Make sure you pray together, because as you are praying, there are some things that you don't even remember to talk about. But when you are praying, maybe due to the way the other person is praying, you'll be sensitive to so many things that the other person is going through. And because the other person wants you to pray for him in some aspects, he would want to open up to you. This is the reason why a family that prays together stays together. So you need to communicate everything so that you know what to work on. You know, even you communicate. If you have fucked up, talk about it. If you have not fucked up, talk about everything. That is what strengthens relationship. That is what strengthens marriage. A marriage without real communications can break at any time. That is just the truth. The third one that I will be mentioning is unfaithfulness or broken trust. It's also common because, of course, you are no longer single, you are married. You belong to one man, you belong to one woman. I hate hearing people say men are polygamous in nature. Why women are not polygamous in nature or monogamous in nature, whatever. That is not true. You can be faithful. Many marriage collapse due to lack of trust. You are not to continue to live as a bachelor. You are not to continue to speak with your ex or whosoever. You're not supposed to speak to. You know it yourself. So you are to cleave with your wife, just like the Bible commanded it that a man should leave his father and his mother and cleave to his wife. So you have to leave your mother, you have to leave your father and be together with your spouse and not having another affairs with another person. Lack of trust break marriages more than you can ever imagine. So you need to be trustworthy to keep a successful home or to have a successful home. In marriage, radical honesty, accountability is very important. But however, forgiveness when trust is broken is also important to keep a successful home. Because even God forgives us. I know you may feel so hurt, but you need to forgive and forget. In as much a person is ready to take a new leave, change his way or her way, you need to forgive and move on with your lives. Lack of humility. So many marriages crashes because none of them want to say sorry. So if you know that you have offended somebody, say sorry and you will not die there. However, you don't have to be the one that is at fault before you say sorry. Sorry will not kill you. It's just a sacrifice that you pay in order to keep your home, which is very fine, which is very good if for a wise person, because pride kills intimacy. So in order to keep your home, you have to be humble, you have to be submissive, you have to forget about you swallow your pride. When you are wrong, you say sorry. In fact, sometimes you may not be wrong, but because you want peace at home, you say sorry. It does not reduce you in any way. You can talk about it later on that okay, I just said sorry to you. It's not because I was at fault or something. You have to put love above ego. That is important. The fifth one that I'll be mentioning in this video is ignoring God and lack of vision. A marriage that lacks spiritual foundation, storms will shake it so easily. Like I used to say, everything in this life, in this world is spiritual. Even the world itself is spiritual. That sometimes there's something will happen in your home that if you are not spiritually minded, if you are not a spiritually minded person, you will feel it's normal. There's some things that are not normal that you just have to pray about it. So when you have a spiritual vision, you know that okay, this is what Christian does as a Christian that I am. This is what is expected of you as a Christian. Then you are focused that okay, I'm not expected to be divorced as a Christian. Then you focused on that to help you to work on your marriage because of course marriage requires continuous sacrifice, consistent and continuous sacrifices. So you have to put on the work in order for you to keep your home. And with that, you pray along because prayer changes everything. Prayer is important in everything. Life is spiritual, the world is spiritual, marriage is spiritual. For you to keep a home, you have to be spiritual about it. Keeping a home requires love, and God Himself is love. For you to have love in your home, you have to have God because God Himself is love. So before you to have God, you have to be consistent in praying. You have to be consistent with the things of God. You have to be consistent in growing spiritually. You have to share purpose and God's words together. In summary, it's important for you to prepare well before going into marriage. Marriage is not bread and butter. It is not a bed of roses. That is why we say that in sickness and in health. That is why we say that in riches and in poverty, you have vowed to be together in any circumstances. So it's not going to be easy. If any other person have told you that it's going to be easy, I'm telling you here that it's not going to be easy 100%. There is going to be ups and downs. You just have to tackle it. Hold on to each other and pray together, work on yourselves, continuous sacrifices, get your mind prepared, get yourself prepared before going into it. Communicate about everything, stay faithful to each other. Your wife is enough for you, your husband is enough for you. You don't need to look elsewhere. Walk in humility. Walk in humility, say sorry when you need to say sorry. Make sure you build your marriage on God's foundation. This is very important for you to have a successful marriage. Which of these challenges have you noticed most in marriages around you? Comment it below in the comment section. I also want to learn from you. If you want more therapy based tips on marriage, relationship, on home, parenting, motherhood, subscribe and join this community. Remember, your mental health matters. I'll see you again in my next video. Bye.